Look at section 16.3, the past subjunctive. First, we'll look at a concept called sequence of tenses, right? Sequence of tenses. So it's essentially the notion that if you start in the past, you must stay in the past. In English, we have this as well, but the rules are a little more flexible. And in Spanish, they're incredibly inflexible, right? They're very rigid, and if you begin in the past, you must stay in the past. For example, they doubted he did his homework. Ellos dudaban, pasado, que hiciera su tarea, pasado. And this version of the past subjunctive, which is triggered by all the weirdo verbs, is what we're looking at today. So it's also called el pretérito imperfecto del subjuntivo, or the imperfect subjunctive. And like the present subjunctive, the past subjunctive is mainly used in multiple clause sentences that express states of and conditions such as will, influence, emotion, commands, indefiniteness, and non-existence. So this is how we form the past subjunctive. Notice they all have the same endings, ra, ras, ra, ramos, rais, ran, for AR, ER, and IR verbs. And it's pronounced estudiara, estudiaras, estudiara, estudiáramos, estudiarais, estudiaran, o aprendiera, aprendieras, aprendiera, aprendiéramos, aprendierais, aprendieran. Note that the nosotros form of the past subjunctive always has a written accent mark. We want it to beáramos instead of aramos, or éramos en vez de éramos. And as I said, the past subjunctive endings are the same for all verbs, simply ra, ras, ra, ramos, rais, ran. And the past subjunctive form is formed using the ustedes, ellos, ellas form of the pretérito. So you essentially drop the ron ending from this preterite form and you establish the stem of all the past subjunctive forms. To the stem, you then add the past subjunctive endings. Por ejemplo, we have hablar, the preterite form is ellos hablaron, quitamos el ron, ¿no? Y es hablara, hablaras, habláramos. O beber, ellos bebieron, quitamos el ron, y tenemos bebiera, bebieras, bebiéramos. O con escribir, tenemos ellos escribieron, quitamos el ron, escribiera, escribiéramos, escribieras, escribiéramos, ¿no? For verbs with irregular preterites, you add the past subjunctive endings to the irregular stem. Por ejemplo, dar es dieron, quitamos el ron, diera, dieras, diéramos. O decir, dijera, dijeras, dijéramos. Estar, estuviera. Hacer, hiciera. Ir o ser, fueron a fuera. Poder, pudiera. Poner, pusiera. Querer, quisiera. Saber, supiera. Tener, tuviera. Y venir, viniera. IR stem changing verbs and other verbs with spelling changes follow a similar process to form the past subjunctive. Por ejemplo, preferir, it's an E to IR verb, prefiriera, prefiriera. O repetir, repitiera. Dormir changes a la U in the ellos form, durmiera. O conducir, that's a spelling change here, condujera, condujeras, condujéramos. Creer, creyera, creyeras, creyéramos. Destruir, destruyera, destruyeras, destruyéramos. Oír, de oír, oyeron a oyera, oyeras, oyéramos. The past subjunctive is used in the same context and situations as the present subjunctive and the present perfect subjunctive, except that it generally describes actions, events, or conditions that have already happened. Por ejemplo, me pidieron que no llegara tarde. They asked me not to arrive late. And remember the first point of the sequence of tenses, because this was in the past here, they asked that I not arrive late, is essentially what you're saying. It would trigger the subjunctive even if it were in the present, but because we're in the past, we must use the past subjunctive. Me sorprendió, pasado, que ustedes no vinieran a la cena. It surprised me that you didn't come to the dinner. O salió, pasado, antes de que yo pudiera hablar contigo. He left before I could talk to you. O Ellos querían que yo escribiera una novela romántica. They wanted me to, pasado, to write a romantic novel.